3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Let's go. Set. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Focus, defense, focus.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On 2nd down, Dobbins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Now it's Watson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a man open down the middle of the field, and he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So 1st and 10 after a big mistake on 4th down with a penalty. A play fake, and it's Darnold. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And he returns it up just shy of the 20 to the 19-yard line.
I know some teams are leery about playing cover 2 because the strong safety's not usually a terrific cover guy. But in this case, he played it perfectly. Read the football and went and made the interception.
They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Even with the good gain, I thought they might accept that one.
Yeah, you thought maybe they'd go with the downs as opposed to the yardage. So if you're taking the yardage now, 2nd and less than 5, that tells me you feel good about how your offense is working.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves him in pretty good shape. Now a handoff here to his running back. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Defense, let's go. Pick it up. 55. 53's mine.
On 3rd down, Dobbins, and he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Got what he needed for the 1st down with a gain of 2.
Number 59. 53. Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Echo. Check 53.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
31.
3rd and long, it's Watson. Flushed out right. He finds his target, Fuller. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. No score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Watson's throw is taken in by QT. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On 2nd down now, Dobbins. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A pickup of 11 and a Texans 1st down.
This has been a good drive so far, and it's been a running game for the most part that's powered them down there. Another nice burst there, picking up a 1st down. Now it's 1st and 10, as you said, in the red zone.
Escaping the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and it's now 3-0 Texans. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3 is just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now a pass hauled in downfield. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A big play there. 85 yards. And the Bucs have taken the lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio.
Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Shazier. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions quote-unquote go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Darnold. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Deontay Thompson. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. But just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
To try again after the sack. Darnold flush to his right. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 36 yards on the play. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Darnold. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
53, Mike. Here we go, D.
A shotgun snap for Watson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Watson now from the gun on 3rd down. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Jones. And he spins through. And he loses the football a second time. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now it's Darnold. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit.
And got his man complete. That one covers 29 yards, first down. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 48-yard line. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Got a man on the right sideline. That's Schwartz. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 46 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. Back to throw, Darnold. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A 1-yard touchdown reception as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. The point after is good, and the lead is now 17-3. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hold now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Sponge! 95!
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson got an open man. It's QT. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he get a good head of steam going.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
We're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Harris now to return. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll go again to Jones. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. This is caught, and he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. O.J. Howard, his 5th touchdown now on the year as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Let's go, D. Big series right here, so we got to step it up.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. It's complete to Fuller. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the 1st. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. Watson now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half, 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Harold Landry in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
25, check 25.
Watson. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 42. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. On 1st down, Dobbins, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Houston, a lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. From the 36, Watson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll go down at the 28. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Now Watson, he'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the run, watch the run. 54.
Watson now to throw. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure.
And Zerline's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. All of a sudden, they have quite a bit of breathing room. This was a one-score game, but touchdowns on their last 2 drives, and now comfort is here, so to speak.
It certainly is for them. Now, I've been in this situation before on the flip side of this, and all that's going on there is a little bit of finger pointing. Hey, what's going on? How can we stop them? Can someone make a play to try and stop this momentum?
Well, they're going to be ball hawking because they need a turnover on that other side.
I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
And the ball is knocked out. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 35-yard line. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. To throw on 2nd and 10. Darnold. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. The Texans on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a pass, and it's complete to QT. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now it's Watson. He's got Fuller. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 34-yard line.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
At the Buccaneers' 34-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Hey, we got to snap it. We got to snap it.
Faking the give. Now Watson under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Push him back. Check. 53's Mike. Check. 50. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long time.
Now Watson throwing on 3rd and long. And this is caught at the 8. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14.
Texans 13.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. He'll rifle this one deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 16 on the season, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 2nd down, Dobbins. finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line.